first of all, I love waking up early. Second of all, um, I don't even remember what I said on yesterday's video, but the super cool thing about waking up so early is that I have all this time to myself, where I'm not just waking up and then like having immediately to go do things and then doing things until I'm tired and then I fall asleep. I waking up at 7, especially on days when I don't have class at 9. Um, it gives me all of this time to like all I'm doing is being with myself, and I haven't done that in like forever. And usually when I do that, I guess like the reason I don't give myself time to do that historically is because when I do that, I spiral really furiously in my head. So um, so I've kind of I don't know. I've just been kind of putting it to the side. So doing it the past couple days has been really intense, because I'm spiraling really hard, and I don't know if I'm gonna try to really explain what a spiral is right now, but it's like it's like a psychosis basically. It's like a little mini psychosis where one gets trapped inside of his or her head, and and it has difficulty finding the way out, or remembering that there is a way out, or remembering that maybe he or she would prefer a way out. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's what I do often. I spiral. Um, so I was finding out a lot of really important things, but it was really emotionally challenging to find these things out. Um, but I think I narrowed it down a little bit. That's the other reason I like to spiral, because I get to, you like compress and compress and compress and compress as you go through the spiral, and you go, and you have a new little process package of information. It's kind of cool. But it's dangerous. Do it at your own risk. Um, but I was looking at jealousy and attachment, um, and how that's still like maybe the third or fourth surface layer of what it really is, and that's a very new concept to me. I've been kind of like putting off jealousy as its own little entity, and then attachment as its own little entity, like it's furthest condensed form or something. And I don't believe that's the case. I believe the case is not trusting, like distrust. Um, the main one is self distrust. I think what I was looking at was that, and there are a couple things, but when I have historically felt that attachment to a person in my life, which has happened like a billion times, just like most people. um, I it's I feel as though what I was feeling was that, man, it's hard to get it out. I feel as though what I was feeling was distrust of myself. Like maybe I was wrong this whole time, and maybe this person isn't who I believe them to be, or just second guessing myself, and starting to, that's the crazy girlfriend syndrome. It's like, oh, like he's totally gonna leave me, and he's totally like interested in all these other people, and he's totally like blah blah blah, and it's projected as a distrust of that person, and that's like the jealousy. But I think it's really the distrust of the self. And what's more is that I think it's a really good sign there. I mean, it's, by definition, it's a really good sign that that person, or in that case me, has spent a lot of time being dishonest with his or herself and myself. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's me. That one knows that that's one of those things. I was also looking at another emotional turmoil section for me of disappointment. Disappointment's a really big one, and a lot of time disappointment is what sends me into my spiral. Usually, is like the perceived disappointment, like I'm disappointing somebody, or I mean, you're always disappointing yourself, right? But for conversation's sake, I feel like I'm disappointing somebody else, and I feel like like, oh, I'm only this old and I only have this much experience, and like all these other people, or my friends have this much experience and they're this old and they like understand these things and I just don't know these things yet. And so whenever I goof up on something and I'm like, oh, I'm totally bringing everybody down right now, I'm such an anchor, and blah, and spiral, spiral, spiral and stuff. And that's, I mean, in one sense, it's ridiculous, but in another sense, I think it might be a good sign, is what I came up to yesterday. That that if you're disappointing yourself, you're probably on the right path, because that's one of those steps of being able to progress, is by looking at a situation that's occurring right now and saying like, oh, I wish it, like, I want it to happen this way, and I see how this is happening and I see how I can tweak it next time, and because I see how I could tweak it to make a better situation, now I'm disappointed in myself now, because it would have been so easy to tweak it now, you know. um so So yeah, I think I I never thought that I would really think that for any period of time, and maybe I'll be proven wrong or whatever, prove myself wrong. But but yeah, I think that disappointing yourself is like a super important part of the process. um, That's it, probably.